What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. It is Thursday today. Sorry. Yeah, it is Thursday today, and we are talking about, Vince, why don't you introduce today?
Well, I guess I'll introduce today's topic for funsies. What we're going to do today is we're going to take five of the top, or not the top, but five of the 10 teams that are starting the 2022-2023 season with a new head coach. So what we've done already is we've ranked five of these 10 teams, and we have them ranked from five through first, which is the best chance being at number one, the worst chance being at number five from these five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we are kind of ranking a top five new head coach list for who has it the best in the best scenario, who's going to make the playoffs, who has the best chance the next 3 years to actually hit the big game. Okay, who got the goat? From new head coaches from getting the goat as their quarterback to new head coaches for getting the goat as a wide receiver. We're here to talk about it. So, rank number five. Let's get right into it. Number five.
Which we have the Miami Dolphins and their new head coach, Mike McDaniel. So AJ is very familiar with this man. He was the assistant coach for multiple teams, Texans, the Washington, back when they were the Redskins, but now the Commanders, the Browns, the Falcons, and AJ's favorite team for some reason, the 49ers.
49ers, baby. Yes, a very creative mindset. He is going to be entering the Miami Dolphins, which made a lot of huge moves this offseason. Of course, the most popular one is acquiring Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's going to be that do-it-all guy, and he's going to be paired up with Jalen Waddle, which is just it is a good combination for Tua Tagovailoa, who is viewed as not so much of a strong quarterback. They did get the best offensive tackle during the offseason that was available, which is Armstead from the New Orleans Saints. So that's a huge plus, giving Tua a little more time in the backfield. And if you guys have not seen our TikTok, I was just raving about their running back room with Chase Edmonds, Raheem the Dream Mostert, Sony Michel, and Myles Gaskin. That is the best, hands down, the best running back room in the league. Super excited for them. I think this team has a huge upside, especially with the creative mind of Mike McDaniel. I like them, but unfortunately, I do have them as number five because we got a lot of good teams on this list.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
they have a great chance of being great this next year. They have a lot of stars in a lot of positions. The biggest thing that's going to come up with them, they're playing a lot of hard teams in the AFC, so they have the work cut out for them. But they can honestly, if they everything all the stars align, they can come up on top.
Yeah, man, and we give a lot of credit to their moves on offense, but they've been making a lot of moves lately in the defensive side for the past 10 years. They've got a good back seven with them, with Xavier Howard, who we just gave a jersey away from them. Uh, so he's going to lead that backfield, and he's been tenured there in Miami. So I think they're going to do great on defense, and now offense. They have the potential to be a top five offense almost if we're really giving them a chance. So, but we have them at five. We got four of the teams that have a better chance to make it to the big game within the next 3 years. So we'll move on to number four, I believe. So right now, we got number four, the Broncos, who just received my old quarterback, Russell Wilson, and their new head coach is being Nathaniel Hackett. He was the offensive coordinator for the Jaguars, and Reed loves this guy because he was the offensive coordinator for the Packers for the past 2 years.
Great head coach, or great offensive coach. Led our team the past 2 years as the offensive coordinator. And those are Aaron Rodgers' two best years as or his two MVP years. So a lot can be credited to him and LaFleur, obviously. But the Broncos have a huge chance to be a really good team this year.
So with that said, Reed, do you think Russell Wilson has a decent chance at being an MVP candidate this year with him as head coach?
I feel like every year I want to like Russell Wilson to win MVP. But there's a lot of tough competition out there with Josh Allen, and Aaron Rodgers will be going for his third. I won't call it. I won't call it too early.
What about my guy Jalen Hurts, man? You didn't mention him.
There's a reason for that.
No chance. No chance. For the first time in my professional fan career of the NFL, I do want Russell Wilson to win MVP. That guy is an MVP candidate every single year, putting the team on his back with Coach Pete Carroll out there. And now you guys know my take on the Denver Broncos. They have such an explosive offense. A lot of people are thinking Cortland Sutton's that wide receiver one is Jared Judy. And it's going to show this season because now they have an elite quarterback back there, and that's Russell Wilson. And they're going to have such a successful year, even though they're inside the toughest division in football. It is going to be awesome watching him cook up there.
Yeah, man. So I'll talk about defense again on this team. They've always had a solid defense for as long as I can remember, honestly. It's just always offense that needs to get kicking. So just a few years back, they had Peyton Manning as their sheriff, and now they got Russell Wilson as their sheriff. But back then, they went all the way to the Super Bowl with a good defense and a good quarterback at the helm. So I think they have a great chance within the next 3 years to go to the Super Bowl again. But we'll see what happens. Has to be a lot of pieces that fall into play, and Russell Wilson has to fit well in the scheme that Coach Nathaniel Hackett and their offensive coordinator will give them.
Let's ride.
I love it, Reed. I love it.
Right.
We're going to make a TikTok out of that right now. But next on the list, number 3, we got the Saints and Mr. Dennis Allen as their new head coach. He's almost always been with the Saints. This is his second stint with them, but he's done everything defensive on every team that he's been with, and he's been with the Saints as their defensive coordinator since 2015. So now he's being promoted to head coach with Mr. Payton out of the running. So what do y'all think about the Saints?
Personally, you want to go ahead?
You go
All
ahead.
right. Personally, if this listing was entirely up to me, unfortunately, I got outvoted here, but I would have the New Orleans Saints as number 5. I would not have them this high in the ranking list. For one, I don't believe in their offense. I don't believe in Jameis Winston eating those W's. He's going to choke on it this year, kind of like what he does every single year, besides last year because he did get injured. And I like their defense. And him coming from a defense perspective, hopefully he capitalizes there. But I just do not believe in Jameis Winston, even with the additions of Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, and Michael Thomas coming back. I don't see it.
Yeah, this year we get to see how much Sean Payton was holding this team together with him being gone finally. I personally think that Jameis Winston is better than what AJ's calling him. I think he's shown moments of greatness. We've all seen it. But at the end of the day, he needs to do it on a game-to-game basis. He shows up for games and then just completely disappears for other games. He's inconsistent. If he can be consistent he doesn't even need to be incredible elite quarterback. If he can just be average, this team has a chance to be very, very good. Yeah. So the head coach has a good chance of having a good team.
Not bad, yeah. And again, I'll talk about defense because I feel like I'm the only one addressing defense on the side.
You're fine.
But they just signed the Honey Badger, I believe, as well to the Saints roster. Yep. So I can see Dennis Allen putting his little 2 cents in there on who he wants on his team as head coach. But speaking on Jameis Winston, there was an Instagram tweet that compared him to Brett Favre. They have the same ratio of interceptions to touchdowns, as well as another stat that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I think the Saints are a very underrated team. They did not tank as much as people thought they would. But now with Sean Payton leaving, it's going to be some big shoes to fill. So Dennis Allen has his work cut out for him, but I think he's built a team with some good tenured players from the NFL, and they should be decent this year. I don't know if they will dethrone the Bucs, but they will be in the running for that second spot in that division. So with that said, number 2 on our list, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. No, they don't have that Mr. Carrot Head anymore. They have Mr. Josh McDaniels. So he was the head coach of Denver way back in 2009. And just most recently, he's been an offensive mind on the Patriots for about past 10 years. He's even been their offensive coordinator for a good chunk of their Super Bowl wins. So what do y'all think about Josh McDaniels finally getting the starting job again?
I think he's put in a very tough situation, being in the toughest league, toughest division in the NFL. I do want to say that they did make great additions to help him out, and I guess I'll throw you a bone here, Vince. I'm gonna throw in some defense. They did pick up probably one of the best defensive ends in the NFC, which is Chandler Jones from Arizona. It was a huge pickup by them. Smart pickup, especially in that division. They need to hold up on defense, and then you get Derek Carr pairing up with Reed's old best friend, Devontae Adams. It's just going to be a great combination. I can't wait to see it happen.
Yeah, they have a really good chance. Josh McDaniels, he's got now the best. He now on the team, the best wide receiver in the league, Devontae Adams. You don't really got to do too much with him as long as you just get the ball in his hands. He'll make magic happen. But what made Devontae Adams especially special in Green Bay was that Aaron Rodgers to Devontae connection. It was perfect. No, it doesn't matter how well you play it. They were still going to catch the ball. They were still going to connect. So I'm very interested to see if that can happen between Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. Yes, they played in college. Yes, they're great friends. But is that going to translate to the football field? Is Derek Carr's football skills going to correlate with Devontae Adams' football skills? Is it going to work, or is it just going to be Devontae Adams being perfect and Derek Carr making mistakes? That's going to be the biggest make or break it in my opinion, for them to compete with other teams in their division. Is that connection between Derek Carr and Devontae Adams? It has to be perfect.
Yeah, man, I agree with that. I think this all falls on Mr. Carr there at the quarterback position because he's got the assets to do it on offense. The only thing that the Raiders have not done a good job with is signing some of these defensive studs that they drafted back in 2019 and 2018. A lot of them are due for some extensions on the defensive side of the ball, and they have not chosen to extend these guys, and they have done some great things at the safety position with Jonathan Abram. I was very surprised that they did not sign him to an extension. But I mean, like I said, it all falls on Derek Carr. He's got to get the ball in the right spot, just like Rodgers did with Devontae Adams. And he's got one of the best tight ends in the league. So he should have no issue getting the ball into the touchdown area when they're in the red zone. He's got two of the best guys to do it. So all falls on him. But hopefully Josh McDaniels doesn't get hurt in the process because this is his first time again since 2009 being a head coach. But other than that, we'll get to our number uno team who has the best chance at getting back to the Super Bowl, and that is Mr. Todd Bowles being uplifted to the Bucs head coach. So what do y'all think about that? He's been a defensive coordinator there for the past 2 years, and now he's got the starting job.
Here you go. Here's a championship caliber team. You don't have to do much. Tom Brady usually just runs the team on his own. Good luck. Have fun. If you win a ring, congratulations. You probably didn't deserve it, but hey, you're there. I mean, what else can you say? He has a championship caliber team. Just like I said, Tom Brady teases the idea that he's going to retire, then immediately comes back. They do lose Gronkowski. They did lose Antonio Brown, but they still got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and they did trade for Russell Gage, which he is an underdog player. I do believe he could make some damage there, make his presence known in that system, especially with Tom Brady, a veteran quarterback, which a lot of people consider as the greatest of all time. He's not done yet. He's not. This might be his last year, but you best believe he's going to go out with a bang.
Yeah, man, I think it's wild that Tom Brady's still in the league. What is he, 45 now? Or just creeping up on it. But that's an insane feat for him. But Todd Bowles got the biggest stick out of that hat, man. You know, when they say draw the shortest stick or the longest stick, he got the longest one. He's got the best shot at being a Super Bowl champion, basically, as their head coach in their first year. He's already won a ring with them as a defensive coordinator. But really, he doesn't, just like you said, he doesn't really have to do anything. Tom Brady's going to do it all. They've got all the pieces there on very small deals. And there's even a hint of them getting Ndamukong Suh over there to add to that beefy defensive line that they already have. So they really don't have to do anything. They got stars on both sides of the ball. And especially in that division, like I said, with the Saints, I think they are going to be the number one spot. And they are going to be a shoe-in for the playoffs on that side of the NFC.
Man, you guys are putting down tall bulls too much here. Yeah, he has one of the best teams in the league, and he just inherited that. But he was able to help build that team. He was able to help build that defense, make it what it is, and he's been a great coach for a while now. He's been all around the league, coaching different defenses, always being a defensive coordinator. Don't put it past him. Don't just say, "Oh, this is just because Tom Brady." At the end of the day, Tom Brady can't do it by himself. He couldn't have done it without Bill Belichick. He couldn't have done it with what was the last head coach? I'm sorry, I forget. Bruce Arians. He couldn't have done it without Bruce Arians. Football's a team sport. You need a great team. You need players around you, and you need a great head coach. If you don't have those things, then it's not going to work out. So don't just say this is all just he just inherited all this. If they're successful, it's going to be because of him also.
Well, I think that success draws upon on how much of the reins he gives to Tom Brady, because Bruce Arians notably said every single year that they went to the playoffs, and especially the year that they won the Super Bowl, Tom Brady takes charge of that team in the thick of it. So when they are down and they need to come back to win in the playoffs or regular season in the Super Bowl, he says that Tom Brady takes charge. He rallies up the guys on the offensive side, and he's motivating guys on the defense side as well. So, I mean, I'm not so much downplaying Mr. Bowles, but he's definitely going to give some of the reins to Tom Brady. You can't say that he can't, and it's not all going to fall on him. So he might take control more of the defensive side since he's been around that area more often. But with Tom Brady on the other side, it's like you have a head coach that's on the field and performing at an elite level.
Mm-hmm.
So
not trying to take too much away from him. He's there for a reason. He's a head coach in the most prestigious league of football in the world. So he definitely has, credit due to him. But this situation reminds me a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers when Mike Tomlin took over Pittsburgh Steelers. He got a championship team. And all the way up until last year, we don't know what's going to happen next year, but he's had a consistently good team, and a lot of that credit has to go to Big Ben over there in Pittsburgh, because he was that veteran quarterback. He knew what to do in certain situations. Last year, you saw them struggle a little bit because of his age and how he was performing. But this year's going to be a huge year for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin to see how well of a head coach he really is.
Yeah, man. Well, that's our top 5 of some of the 10 teams that have new head coaches. There are 5 other ones that are listed: Texans, Bears, Jags, Giants, and Vikings. We just thought that these 5 had the best chance of winning a Super Bowl within the next 3 years, or even getting close to just being in the game. So tell us if we're wrong. Tell us if we're right. Tell us how you would change it. And shoot, maybe you'll agree with us.
And if y'all go to comment the Giants, just save yourself and don't comment. Just don't. Don't do it. Not worth it. Hit that subscribe button, okay? Find us on TikTok. We're at Not So Pro Football Talk. We're also on Facebook and on Twitter. Find us, Not So Pro Football Talk. And until next time, you guys, keep on grinding.